The night my dad broke his own rule, I knew we were in serious trouble. My dad had one strange rule every time I stayed at his lake house. No matter what was happening, if the porch light flashed twice after midnight, I had exactly 60 seconds to put on my shoes and meet him at the old fishing dock behind the house. No questions, no looking out the windows, no grabbing extra stuff, just go. If I wasn't there within a minute, he'd come inside and drag me out himself. My dad had spent 12 years in the US Coast Guard before becoming a high school teacher, and when he was serious, you listened. Still, as a kid, I thought the rule was ridiculous. Every summer, he'd randomly test me. Sometimes I'd wake up to the porch light flashing twice, race to the dock, and find him waiting with 2 mugs of hot chocolate, laughing because I'd forgotten to tie my shoes. Other times, he'd pull out a stopwatch and tell me I could shave 5 more seconds off my time. By the time I was 15, I'd practiced the drill so many times that I could do it half asleep. I figured it was just one of Dad's strange habits. Then came the night that changed everything. A thunderstorm rolled across the lake just after midnight. The power flickered once, then everything went quiet. I woke up to complete darkness. A second later, I saw it through the curtains. The porch light flashed once, twice. I didn't think. I grabbed my sneakers, slipped out the back door, and ran toward the dock as rain soaked my hoodie. Dad was already there, standing beside our fishing boat. He wasn't smiling. His face looked pale. The moment I reached him, he whispered, "Get in, and don't look back." We pushed away from shore without another word. The boat drifted into the middle of the lake. I couldn't help myself. I turned around. A flashlight was moving slowly through the upstairs hallway. Someone was inside our house. Dad quietly pulled out his phone and called 911. He spoke in a calm voice. He's still inside. Then he hung up. Less than 10 minutes later, sheriff's deputies surrounded the property from every direction. They searched the house room by room. Eventually, they found a man hiding inside the attic crawl space. He wasn't just a burglar. Detectives later discovered he'd been breaking into isolated lake houses for weeks, watching families until he knew their routines. Inside his backpack were gloves, duct tape, zip ties, a crowbar, and a loaded handgun. One deputy looked at my dad and said, "If your son had stayed inside, this could have ended very differently." The next morning, after giving our statements, I finally asked Dad why he'd made me practice that strange drill all those years. He kept his eyes on the road for a long moment before answering. "When I was in the Coast Guard, I learned something during rescue missions. The people who survived weren't always the strongest. They were the ones who already knew what to do before panic took over." Then he looked at me and smiled. "I just wanted you to be one of them." I'm 25 now. My dad passed away last winter. The lake house was sold years ago. But every time I notice a porch light flicker twice in the middle of the night, I still find myself reaching for my shoes before I even realize why.